Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So tomorrow, certain beneficiaries of Social Security are going to be receiving checks worth all the way up to $4,873 at the maximum. So we are going to be going over who is going to be eligible to receive those payments, plus the rest of the payment schedule this month in May. Plus, yesterday we actually had some surprisingly somewhat good news for all beneficiaries across the board, which we will be covering as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stocks or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then just link your bank account. You do not have to make a deposit. At that point, once you do so, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you really just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock, is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and today is going to be day 2 of the drama between Republicans Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, of course, the House Speaker for the Republican Party after Kevin McCarthy was ousted from his role. And I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene is having these meetings with the House Speaker, where she's basically making these demands like, hey, if you do all of these things, I'm not going to bring this to the floor for a vote where we can potentially remove you from the House Speaker. Mike Johnson is listening, but Mike Johnson, in a way, probably knows that his job is safe, just because we've even had Democrats come out and say that if this vote is brought to the floor, Democrats are going to back him. So not really sure exactly why he's taking Marjorie Taylor Greene all that seriously here. But basically what's going on, according to Punchbowl News, is that Greene and Representative Thomas Massie met with Johnson for 2 hours on Monday afternoon. They emerged to find a waiting horde of reporters, but Greene would only say that she'll meet with Johnson again today over whether to force a vote on to House the Speaker. Greene wouldn't comment on her conversation with Johnson upon leaving the room, but we were able to get details about what she asked the Speaker for. First off, that Johnson commit to no more U.S. aid for Ukraine. Secondly, that Johnson commit to defunding Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation into former President Donald Trump. And finally, that Johnson only advanced legislative priorities that had the support of the majority and adherence to the so-called Hastert rule. So basically, we have a couple of things there. First off, the Ukraine aid. More than likely, Biden and the rest of them in support of Ukraine aid are probably not going to come back for at least several months, because they already passed a lot of aid for Ukraine. So more than likely, Johnson is going to be okay with that. And then as far as cutting funding for Jack Smith, this is something, sure, they could probably pass in the House because they have a slim Republican majority if they could get it through. But it would just be like a messaging bill, because anyways, once it got to the Senate, there's no way that the Democrat in Chuck Schumer is going to bring this to the floor for a vote. So it's pretty much going to be dead on arrival in the Senate. And even if it somehow miraculously passed the Senate, which it won't, once it gets to Joe Biden's desk, Joe Biden is for sure going to veto the bill. So the bill, either way, is going to be dead. It would just be a messaging bill. So not sure exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to achieve here. And she herself probably knows that her vote is going to fail if she brings it to the floor, because we have a lot of Republicans who support Mike Johnson, and we also have a lot of Democrats who support Mike Johnson as well. Okay, so in some other news, tomorrow there are going to be some payments going out to certain beneficiaries of Social Security. At the maximum, these payments are going to be worth right around $4,873, with the average coming out to right around $1,900. We're going to be covering who is going to be receiving those payments tomorrow, and then we're also going to be going over the rest of the payment schedule this month in May. So according to Newsweek, this week on Wednesday, May 8th, Social Security recipients with birthdays that fall between the 1st and 10th of any given month will receive their retirement check. Payments for most beneficiaries are made on Wednesdays throughout the month. However, not every recipient will receive a sum as large as $4,873. The maximum amount available to claimants. Retirement benefits are calculated based on an individual situation, including how much they earned in their working years. Some retirees are also eligible to claim supplemental security income if they are blind, have a disability, or if their usual Social Security payments would not be enough. According to the SSA, the estimated average monthly Social Security retirement benefit for January 2024 was $1,907 per month. And then up on this screen, you will see the payment schedule for the rest of this month in May. So again, tomorrow, May 8th, those payments are going to be going to beneficiaries with birthdays falling between the 1st and 10th of any given month. And then the following Wednesday, on May 15th, those payments are going to be going to those with birthdays falling between the 11th and 20th of any given month. And then finally, on May 22nd, those payments are going to be going to the beneficiaries born after the 20th of any given month. And then finally, there's also going to be one final payment going out in May. That's going to be on May 31st. Those payments are going to be going to SSI beneficiaries. And you might be thinking, wait, didn't SSI already receive a payment on May 1st? Yes, that is true, but they're also going to be receiving a second payment in May on May 31st. That is just going to be the June payment, because June 1st is going to be falling on a Saturday, and anytime the first of a month falls on a weekend or a holiday, SSI beneficiaries just end up receiving that payment a Friday earlier. So that's why you're going to be receiving two payments in May and then no payments for SSI beneficiaries in the month of June. Also yesterday, we actually had some pretty good news, or at least decently good news, nothing like extraordinary or anything like that. But every single year, the Social Security Trustees report, the Treasury and different organizations come out with like estimates of when they expect the trust fund to become insolvent. And when we mean insolvent, pretty much what it means is that the money sitting in the trust fund is what gets paid out to beneficiaries, people who receive Social Security. So basically the trust fund gets money through the payroll taxes. So as long as people are working jobs and paying taxes on their income, that then goes into the Social Security Trust Fund. There's going to be some money in there, but basically insolvency means there's not going to be enough money in there, plus the money coming in through taxation to pay out everyone 100% of the benefits. So whenever it becomes insolvent, there's going to have to be cuts across the board for everyone. Well, basically in the Treasury's recent report, last year they came out and said 2034, but this year they're actually coming out and saying, well, 2035. So 1 year later, instead of 2034, they are now going with 2035. So we now have one more year, according to them, for Congress to get their act together and pass, some sort of Social Security reform to make sure that we don't have to have these massive cuts across the board for everyone. So according to CNBC, the trust funds the Social Security Administration relies on to pay benefits are now projected to run out in 2035, 1 year later than previously projected, according to the annual trustees report released on Monday. On the projected depletion date, 83% of benefits will be payable if Congress does not act sooner to prevent that shortfall. The Social Security trustees credited the slightly improved outlook to more people contributing to the program amid a strong economy, low unemployment, and higher job and wage growth. Last year, the trustees projected the program's funds would last through 2034, when 80% of benefits would be payable. And O'Malley, who was sworn in to lead the agency back in December, also urged Congress to extend the trust fund solvency as it did in the past on a bipartisan basis. He said, quote, eliminating the shortfall will bring peace of mind to Social Security's 70 million plus beneficiaries, the 180 million workers and their families who contribute to Social Security and the entire nation. He's absolutely right there. Even though we're pushing back this date 1 year, it could easily move back next year to the same 2034 or perhaps even earlier. We never really know. This is right around the corner. We should definitely be taking this serious. We need to have people in Congress act serious. Republicans need to be talking with Democrats. Democrats need to be talking with Republicans. They absolutely need to pass some sort of Social Security reform, and to do that very soon. But that's all I have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.